welcome back to another episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast. I am your host, the Salty Nerd. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the Netflix movie Killing Gunther, half starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. And
it's just a movie. It's not a Netflix movie. It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. I'm sorry.
Netflix didn't make this movie?
No, they didn't.
Felt like
Is that why it felt like something they made in some college class?
Speaking of Matthew Vader, I am joined by him. Welcome to the show, man.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? You don't like this movie, do you?
Coming out the gate.
It's all right. It's okay.
We'll find
I
out.
like parts of it.
Yeah. I am also joined by Juju, the ambassador of estrogen. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good.
And author extraordinaire, Matthew Kadish. What's up, bro?
What?
Okay.
That's my Arnold impersonation.
Couldn't you have just said, get to the chopper?
Get to the chopper. Yeah.
It's not a puma.
Come on, kill me. I'm here. Kill me.
Don't spoil
Can we do all of the Arnold catchphrases?
Sure. Go ahead. How many do you know?
I don't know.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Come with me if you want to live.
You son of
See,
a bitch.
they're not letting me in anymore.
No, they're not.
Now I forgot them all.
How typical of a Salty Nerd podcast
You
to
gotta
not let
get it
Vader speak.
Welcome to the potty, Victor.
That was good.
Can you do the line where I'm going to ram my fist into your stomach?
I know.
You can't do that?
I don't know.
I'm
that
gonna
one.
practice it.
I hope you like
Who
the
is your
taste of my
daddy?
fist because I'm going to ram it into your stomach.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Consider this a divorce.
You are really good at that. That's awesome. I love it when people can do Schwarzenegger impressions. Like, there's a couple of voice actors that I follow that are freaking spot on. And I'm like, I don't, how? Teach me your ways. I don't know how to do it, man.
It just comes out.
I can't. I've tried and I just sound like an idiot. All right. Anyway, Killing Gunther. This movie.
Say basically it's just the guys from Saturday Night Live. It's Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do Dana Carvey doing Arnold Schwarzenegger.
We have to
Pump you up. Yeah.
Anyway, Jude, why don't you tell us about this movie? What the heck is this movie all about?
So this is from 2017. It is now on Netflix, so you can watch it for free. It's what I like to call an action comedy spoof.
Okay.
So basically, it's about a group of professional hitmen. They band together on a mission to change the game of professional killing and to take out the best hitman in the business. It was written and directed by Taron Killam from Saturday Night Live. So it has several people from Saturday Night Live in it. Taron Killam, Bobby Moynihan, Paul Brittain. Yeah, they're trying to take out the unkillable Gunther, who's played by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Who remains a mystery for a good chunk.
Yeah.
Like,
about 2/3 of the movie.
I didn't know anything about this movie going in. I didn't even know if it was a comedy or what. So
neither did I.
Seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger come in midway through the movie was a very pleasant surprise.
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah.
And now finding out that it came out 3 years ago is blowing my mind as we speak. So
I had seen it like passing through Netflix looking for other movies. I was like, Killing Gunther with Schwarzenegger. I'm like, that's weird. Because he was doing a couple of like not low budget, but like low end movies.
Right after he got out of his governorship.
Yeah. He did what it was like something with the sheriff, what he did with Johnny Knoxville.
He did like a vampire daughter movie.
Really?
I would say, was this something he had to do to make money to pay off his housekeeper?
Maybe.
Maria Shriver, more like.
But I never got around to watching it. Just never really. And then you suggested it, and I was like, yeah, that would be a fun movie to talk about. Just kind of.
Yeah, it's basically like the Office version of an action movie.
Yeah, because they've got the camera crew along with them, and it's very like everybody knows there's a camera crew, so it has that kind of vibe to it.
Yeah, it's basically like a mockumentary about assassins, and they're trying to hunt down the best assassin in the world, who's also a master of disguise, and nobody knows what he looks like.
Also completely unkillable.
Yeah. And I thought it kind of jumped the shark a couple of times for me.
Kind of.
Oh, yeah.
That moment.
I mean,
Man, your standards are low.
Heavy spoilers for this movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it, then come back and watch this or listen to this podcast. But like the moment where he was disguised as that chick who was like they were having sex
The bartender.
with,
Yeah.
and they had no idea like no.
And he's got his own film crew.
Yeah.
Like following him while he's just trying to undermine the gang with their film crew.
Which had some really fun characters in it. Like the assassins themselves each had like their own skill
so
set.
this cast is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Allison Tolman, you might know her from the Fargo series. I know her from Good Girls, and I love her in that. Hannah Simone is the hot best friend from New Girl.
Yep.
She was also in I think probably a little.
Wait. Was she the?
She's Cece from New Girl.
I know who Cece is, but she was the
female assassin.
The one whose dad was the assassin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's her.
Why didn't I see that?
You didn't notice that?
No.
God, she's so
Man,
beautiful. I can't help but notice her every
She
time.
was also in a movie called Flock of
Wow.
Dudes with Crystalia.
Flock of Dudes?
Yes.
Well, Crystal is, we can't talk about it.
I just thought it was a fun fact.
We'll get canceled.
So Kobe Smulders plays the ex-girlfriend. She
Yes.
was Robin in How I Met Your Mother.
She's also
And-
Agent Hill from the MCU.
And
she's
She was
married.
in this movie?
Yeah, she was the girlfriend.
did you watch this?
Shut the fuck up. She was not the girlfriend.
Agent Hill from the MCU.
I know who Colby
Sparkles from
Smulders is.
How I Met Your Mother.
Wow. I got to go watch it again.
She was the main character's girlfriend.
I
the
did
one who
not
left him
see
for
that.
Gunther.
Is it because she had long hair?
Started this whole thing.
Wow.
It wasn't up in a bun. That's really. You're like the dude from Shadows who can't
I'm like,
tell who.
what movie did I watch right now?
What are you saying? Every girl with black hair looks like me?
No.
Yeah, I can't tell the difference. I don't know.
Because I
Vader accidentally
Cece
watched Killing
and,
Eve.
and Sparkle. Yeah. Okay.
Vader's over here like, I think I might have watched Running Man.
It's a better movie.
And then the actor that plays Hannah Simone's father, the crazy dad, Peter Kalmus, which you might know from the voice of Goku from Dragon Ball Z, and Dr. Adam Brody from Stargate Universe.
Also, Colby Smulders is the wife of the guy who wrote and directed this.
Taron Killam?
Taron Killam.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't know they were
fun
together.
fact.
Yeah, they're married.
So she probably did this.
Wait,
for like
she's married to that idiot that was the main character in
Yeah.
this?
Vader, are you just going to keep asking questions the whole
Fuck
time?
that guy. He doesn't
Wait.
deserve her, man.
Wait. You're telling me this is on Netflix?
What did I watch?
Seriously.
I paid $7 on Amazon.
Wait. This is a movie? This exists?
Wait.
I mean, there was
Wait.
parts of this movie that I liked. I mean,
They really meant to kill that guy?
my favorite guy was the poison guy.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, the guy who couldn't see blood
he
without
kept
throwing
vomiting?
up violently.
And Bobby Moynihan was awesome in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I did like him.
Yeah, the Asian guy, Yong, that was his name, the assassin who specialized in poison.
He's trying to throw a bottle of poison. Yeah.
His best friend was a snake.
I love that one scene where the guy with the robot arm he's talking to him and he's like, isn't it weird that you have to like get really close up to use poison? And then like he just appears from the
Yeah,
other end.
that was awesome.
I mean, this movie has a lot of like little gems like that.
Yeah.
It's peppered throughout. Like overall, I didn't find it to be all that good of a movie,
It was silly and fun.
but it had like moments in it that were like really well done.
Yeah, really clever callbacks and moments and
Yeah.
setups and stuff.
Like they have Gabe, who's like the tech guy, who's like all their computer stuff. They have
Who they all hate.
yeah. They have
Make it bigger. You can't. No, just like they do in the movies.
yeah. He's like enhance that.
Enhance it.
And he's like, what do you mean enhance? You can't do that.
Yeah, that was good. I did appreciate that line because nothing annoys me more as an actual surveillance person in this town than when people are all like on these shows like CSI and stuff where they enhance these images from 6 miles away and you can read license plates
Yeah.
and dates on coins and shit from outer space and stuff. It's just like,
No.
doesn't happen.
And
It's fake.
Bobby Moynihan's character Donnie, he's like an explosives expert. And when he's first introduced, he's out there, fishing, and he's like, "Oh, isn't that big embezzler guy's yacht? The guy who stole like $50 million from a pension plan?" Then it just like explodes.
Yeah.
And he just looks at the camera and he's like, "This isn't really a fishing rod. This is a detonator."
Can we talk really quickly about the absolute high school level computer graphics
Oh yeah.
with the explosions and the blood sprays and stuff? This is terrible.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's
very
where
low
they
budget.
I mean, it
they
wasn't as
lost
bad
me
as
with that
Street
stuff.
Fighter.
So yeah, it was just not good. But,
Yeah.
I think it was around the same budget as Street Fighter.
yeah.
Really?
I think it was around 35 million.
Man, money does not go very far in Hollywood, does it? I think for $35 million. Like that's more money than I'm ever going to see in my life.
Also, like 20% of the budget went to Schwarzenegger.
Probably.
He was only in like 10% of the movie.
Still. So, so this was like Taron Killen's baby. He actually quit Saturday Night Live to finish this movie. And basically, when they were casting it, they knew they wanted a big name actor for the role of Gunther. And they were courting both Tom Hanks and Bruce Willis for the role. And both of them passed on it. And
Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks.
Oh, he would have played that up. That would have been fun.
And so, like, after those guys passed on it, they took it to Schwarzenegger, and Schwarzenegger was like, I like this. Let's do it.
That's good.
Because, I mean, Schwarzenegger, he's got, like, really good comedic timing.
Yeah.
I think he just wanted to do a comedy.
That fight scene at the very end where they actually came face to face and they're fighting in the kitchen. What are you going to do now, bitch? You're going to hit me. Punching his face in.
Dude, there are moments in this movie where Schwarzenegger literally says lines from his other movies, word for word. Like that kitchen scene that you were talking about when he's fighting. He's literally using the dialogue from Predator.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, come on, kill me. Kill me now. I'm here. I'm right here. Kill me.
Was there any Running Man in there?
There was a Running Man. There was that line about, I hope you like the taste of my fists because I'm going to ram it into your stomach. They also had some lines from Terminator, I believe. But it was so blatant. Like when it was happening, I just couldn't help but laugh. I was like, okay, well played. And then when he escapes, Taron Killen was like, he made it to the chopper.
Yeah.
I want to give it credit for like that found footage action scene, long cut kind of thing that they were going for, where like somebody was just running after the action with the camera,
office building,
the office building stuff. Like that was pretty well done as far as like a stunt coordination way goes. Like I was like, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I was actually pleasantly surprised with this whole movie because I had no idea what this was going to be about.
Yeah,
I legit thought this was going to be like a full on Schwarzenegger movie, and I'm like, I kept waiting. I'm like, where the heck is freaking Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
I mean, like I know he's Gunther. Obviously, he's going to be Gunther because who else would he be? But I was like. I kept waiting for it, and I was like, okay, it's got some humor. The action was pretty fun. Some of the hoodwinks going on where he was like setting them up for failure and constantly was a step ahead of them each way. I was like, all right, this is cool. This is cool. I felt like it made the reveal at the end that he was Gunther pretty legit.
The best part of this movie was the parts where they had Arnold pretending to be a country music star.
Oh God,
where he actually like was there singing like country western songs. Oh, it was brilliant.
What if instead of Gunther, what if they had cast him as the documentary crew guy that was like, can I go home?
What are you doing? Yeah. This is crazy.
I just want to go home. I don't want to get shot.
You guys' Arnold's are terrible.
Terrible. I'm not even going to pretend like I could do it. I don't know. I enjoyed this movie. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I thought, I mean, yes, it is very low budget. Like the graphics are not on point for like a typical Hollywood action movie, but
it was a very low budget movie.
Yeah.
It was like video game graphics.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Pretty
It
close.
was better than that. It was.
No, there was parts of this movie that I really enjoyed. Like the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes. For real.
Kind of went down a little bit in the middle.
Just the middle part was, but when they were introducing all the different characters and everything, it was great. And once Arnold got there, it was good.
That first scene where they all met up in the warehouse and then the Gunther's on the other platform, like on the other building, that whole fight scene.
The slow motion missile.
Yeah. That was great. Yeah. I think that was really fun.
The old guy that kept almost dying.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Cece's father who kept trying to kill the explosion guy.
Yes.
You sleep with my daughter, I'm going to kill you.
Well, let's explain this to the people who haven't seen the movie yet.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah. So I really like the way they introduce a lot of these characters. So for instance, like the actress who plays Cece on New Girl, her name's Hannah Simone. She plays Senna in this movie, and she's like the only daughter of the world's greatest like terrorist, who also happens to be his daughter's biggest fan.
He like wears shirts with like #1 fan of my daughter on them.
He's just like a super overprotective dad, and he's like one of those dads that just lives for his kids, and like she'll make like a sniper shot from like a mile away and like hit a guy right between the eyes, and he'll come out and start waving flags and be like, "That's my daughter, that's my daughter." And so like, but she's always in the shadow of her legendary father. So like, she wanted to do something that would get her some notoriety and let her kind of come out of her father's shadow. And you have Donnie, played by Bobby Moynihan, who's the explosive expert. And he's really just in it because Blake's his best friend. And he just, wants to help out his
Blake
buddy.
is the main guy played by Taron Killam.
And our introduction to Taron Killam's Blake is he assassinates this guy in a restaurant. But before he does it, he's supposed to say something from the guy who hired him, and he messes up the line. He's like, wait a minute. So he pulls out a piece of paper, and as he does that, the guy tries to make a move, and he ends up having to shoot him. And then afterwards, he's like, oh man, I was supposed to say this, and then he says it. And so it just kind of shows the level of competency of this. So basically, Blake, the storyline is about Blake getting together a Seven Samurai style team of assassins. And they all kind of have their reason for wanting to kill Gunther, who's the most legendary assassin, in the business. For instance, Yong, the poison guy, the Asian poison guy. So apparently Gunther killed his favorite snake.
First of all, it was his best friend.
It's his best friend.
And also it happened to be a snake.
Yeah. And so his motivation is to get revenge for, the snake dying. Then there are these two Russian brother and sister teams.
Oh my God, I forgot.
I
about
love them.
They were so funny.
Yeah, Mia and Berold. And they're basically just complete psychopaths.
Yeah.
So
But they're so excited to be in the U.S.
What's that movie with Woody Harrelson, Born to Kill or
Natural Born Killers?
Natural Born Killers. It was very much that vibe with those two.
Yeah, and they just want to go to Disney World.
I love that part. They're from Russia, and this is one of their first times ever coming to America, and they're obsessed with Disney World. So they go there, and they're wearing all the memorabilia, the Disney World
they're
sweatshirt.
We're in Miami. Then she's like, no, I don't care. Take us. Same accent.
It's like a
I just do the
4 hour
one.
accent.
I just do the one.
One accent.
See, it's Russian, vampire, Yugoslavian.
French.
French.
It don't matter.
Schwarzenegger.
One accent to rule the world.
And then,
Gypsy.
And then there's Izzat, who is this Taliban soldier who lost an arm in a suicide bomb. Not his suicide bomb, someone else's suicide bomb.
Yeah, he just happened to be there.
Yeah, he was helping put the vest on the guy. And so because he's missing an arm, he has this robotic arm, but it keeps running out of juice. So and when it runs out of power, the fist contracts.
And they call him Crusher.
They call him Crusher.
He accidentally crushes
Needs a
things all the time.
USB port to plug it into.
Yeah. And there's this there's this old mentor character who basically taught Blake everything he knows.
What was his name? Andrew?
Ash?
Ashley.
Ashley, yeah. And so they're he's our secret weapon. He's the most experienced of us all, and he's gonna help us kill Gunther.
He's on death's door.
Yeah.
And Ashley keeps having heart attacks because he's so old, and he keeps going to the hospital. And they're like, well, the doctors say that he's gonna be laid up for a while, so we're just gonna have to proceed without him. Then occasionally he'll come back. He's like, I'm fine. And then he'll have another heart attack and have to go to the hospital.
He gets a little bit further away from the hospital each time.
Yeah.
And then the character Gabe, who's their tech guy, just this nerdy.
He's new to the killing game.
Yeah, he's new to
Doesn't
the
do
game.
anything.
Doesn't do anything.
He dies right away, though, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't.
No?
He
Who dies? Somebody
He
gets
lasts
shot
for
in
a
the head.
while.
The first time we see him, they get shot. Oh,
It was the other guy that Ash
That was the
had
character
trained.
Max,
Yeah.
who was Blake's
other mentor.
Yeah.
He was in the movie about
Well, it was
45 seconds.
Yeah.
It was like Blake's brother in Killing.
Gunther
Yeah.
snipes him right in the forehead. That's
Yeah,
the first
so
character that
the
dies.
old man Ash trained Blake and Max together. So they were
Yeah.
kind of like brothers in arms.
I love Blake's motivation for this. What he says is not really what his motivation is. He's like, oh, I just want to make a name for myself to be the best assassin ever. But really,
But it's deeper than
it's
Turns
deeper than that.
out-
It turns out that Gunther had stole his girlfriend, which was played by Colby Smolder, and he just
who also used to be an assassin.
who also
Yeah.
is an assassin and or used to be. And,
I gotta go rewatch this movie.
and the whole reason why he really wants to kill Gunther is because he stole his girlfriend
Yeah.
from him.
Well, he wants to do it to prove to his girlfriend that he's
That
worthy.
he's the best.
Yeah.
And she's not even into him
and
anymore.
the film crew is like, is this really about your girlfriend, Lisa, whatever? And he's like, no, I don't know who that is. Never heard of her. And they're like, really? Because she gave us the the last voicemail that you left her. And they play it and he's like crying.
Please take me back.
Please don't leave me, Lisa. And he's like, that's not me. And they're like, you could have been Mrs.
He called, he says his name.
He's like, oh, God damn it.
And it's funny because they show like back when he was like romancing her, he'd send her selfies and it'd be like, selfies of him putting up the peace sign, but there's like a dead guy hanging behind him.
Yeah.
It's like all these like terrible things are going on in the background while he's like sending her these like sweet selfies.
Yeah. What did she say that she left him because his work came first? I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He's like, he was just obsessed with his career.
She got out of the killing game and became a erotic ceramics artist.
She does mostly bridal parties or like bachelorette parties.
They make dildos out of clay.
Yeah. They bedazzle them. It's like sparkly penis.
It's got a lot of clever moments in this movie, and it is actually a lot of fun. I did enjoy watching it, even though it was kind of just like a meh.
And so like they all get together and they're trying to track down Gunther and they don't know where he is. So basically, after the warehouse situation where Gunther fires an RPG into the warehouse to kind of like scare them off, they decide that they're going to put out a fake hit on some random dude. And that's going to lure Gunther out into the open so they can basically kill him. And their very first kind of run in with Gunther, because he takes the hit, but he knows it's a setup, so he like fucks with them. But their first run in, they realize that Gunther is also a master of disguise, and so he can look like literally anyone.
Yeah. Like take the masks from Mission Impossible and just like amp it up to 11 and totally jump the shark, because if you think about it for even a half a second, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, like big yoked out Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he makes himself look like he's like these real short different people.
Well, the first disguise is he makes himself look like Taron Killam.
Yeah.
Who's like half his size.
Yeah, half his size. Yeah. Easily half his size. But he looks completely like, I mean, he's doing like parkour flips over desks and stuff. And you're like, that's not Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But that's the gag, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there are female characters in this movie that are secretly Gunther.
Yeah.
And when they reveal this, it's like they'll show like the actress playing the part. Then the camera will pan over. And then when it pans back, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger in this tight black dress.
Spaghetti straps.
And he's just like, shh, it's really me.
It's super goofy. I love it though. It does have a lot of like Saturday Night Live hijinks to it.
And the whole assassin team slowly gets picked off throughout the movie. Like the poison guy, for instance.
He gets bitten by a snake. That was a funny moment when he's like, is this what it feels like to get poisoned? This sucks. And just like a couple minutes earlier, he was talking about how poisoning people was like the superior way of assassinating.
It's very sophisticated.
It's very sophisticated. It's not as bludgeonant as shooting somebody.
Yeah. And his whole thing is he uses poison because he can't stand the sight of blood.
Yeah. That was another thing that kept getting me, because every time somebody would get like a scratch or a shot,
he just violently throw up.
Throws up over everything, and then he just keeps talking like nothing happened. Like he's like, "All right, guys, we got to do this."
There was a lot of barfing this week.
What do you mean?
Team America.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
What would you do?
The way Crusher died was Gunther took his arm and put the hand around his neck, and when it ran out of battery power, it crushed his throat.
Yeah.
He essentially just strangled himself.
He killed them with their own methods.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did, huh?
He sure did.
And
that's why he's the best.
Mm-hmm. And it was funny because when he saw that guy get bit by the snake, he's like, I didn't even mean for that to happen. But I'm glad it did.
All right, from now on, we have to have Vader do all the Arnold Schwarzenegger lines.
But so Ashley eventually has a heart attack and dies, and so they're at the funeral, and Gunther blows up the coffin that Ashley was in.
Oh yeah,
and the headstone lands on Gabe, the computer guy, and kills him. And basically Blake was staying at Gabe's place, and now he had no place to crash. So like Gunther's just like slowly dismantling Gabe's.
And he's losing it. Like the farther the movie goes in, you can tell he's just starting to lose his mind.
And by the end, he's completely berserk.
And Donnie, the explosives expert, he ends up falling in love with Santa, Cece from
New Girl,
and they hook up. And CC's overprotective father, who's also like the world's most bloodthirsty terrorist, finds out about it, and he starts hunting down Donnie. And so like
through the rest of the movie,
like every time Donnie appears, like within a few minutes, like Rahmet shows up with like a machete, and he's trying to like chase him down and kill him. And CC keeps trying to stop her father, and she's like, wait, you don't understand. Then eventually she's like, I'm pregnant. and both her father and Donnie are just like, what? Because at the beginning of the movie, Donnie's like, I don't even, I could never be a father. I don't know anything about being a dad or having a family. It's like, that would be weird. And so like there's this weird kind of love story that also kind of evolves into like a happy ever after for Donnie and Santa. And when they have their child, Santa's father becomes like one of those grandparents that just like lives for their grandchildren.
Yeah, he like re-imprints on his grandchild.
She's like, I had no idea he had more love to give.
Yeah.
He's got like balloons.
She's like, one of the good things to come out of this is like, he's not so obsessed on me anymore.
Yeah. He's like, I converted to Islam or whatever. And then they show the wedding, and his dad or the father-in-law walks up and is like, "You are my son now."
He's like
sitting there like, "Oh
he's
shit!"
Like got two handfuls of like each of Donnie's cheeks.
Yeah.
And Donnie's like, I converted to Islam completely of my own accord.
It's like, no, it was my idea.
Bobby Moynihan, he's a funny dude.
It's
like I haven't watched a lot of SNL in the last, really since the Dana Carvey years, really. But he's one of those guys that kind of sticks out.
Last thing I remember him from SNL was the Star Wars skit when The Force Awakens came out with Matt, the technician guy, with Adam Driver. Like he was one of the stormtroopers in that. That's like where I most know him from, and seeing him in other stuff is pretty cool. He's pretty
like this movie had a really good cast.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think they all had really good chemistry with each other too.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like the comedy didn't feel awkward or forced at all. It was very natural.
You know, the comedy in this movie, like conceptually, it's very funny. Like the idea of it is very funny, but like some of the execution just didn't work.
I would like to see this movie remade with a budget. No, for real. I think it could be.
I'd like to see it remade completely from Gunther's point of view.
Because
like when Schwarzenegger was on screen, like he just
he
made the movie.
Yeah.
Once he showed up, the movie definitely jumped up a notch.
And I like how at the end, after he supposedly blows up and kills all those guys, like you see him at the press conference, he just looks at the camera and smiles.
And then spoiler, but like Taron Killam's ex-girlfriend, who this was all about, she ends up marrying some completely other person, right? And it turns out Gunther introduced them
just to fuck with the other guy.
Yeah. He's like, what could I do to torture him that was worse than death? He's like, I know. I'll get his love of his life to marry someone.
You guys
else.
both do the vampire thing for all the characters.
Just one accent.
There's a reason I'm not a voice actor.
Just one accent.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
anyway,
but every time Schwarzenegger was on screen, like his stuff just stole the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when he was doing that communal garden in the with like
he was wearing the lederhosen
in Austria.
I moved back to my country, Austria. I'm not even gonna try to do the accent. That was funny. He was like a retirement home, and I thought it was funny when he's like, "I got to redo the house. You know, it's under renovation. I swear to God, I'm going to kill this contractor."
It's 2 months behind.
If I was still killing.
Oh man! All right. Well, I mean, I don't know what else to say about this movie. It was fun. This is a nice little short segment. It's worth watching.
Yeah.
If you guys are missing, have a little hankering for some Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a decent flick to check out.
If you're still in quarantine and you're out of stuff to watch, it's a good flick.
That's exactly it. If you have watched everything else, there's this little thing on Netflix you might want to check out.
It's a good movie if you're bored and can't think of anything else to watch.
You're not going to die if you never see it.
It's not like 2.5 hours long either. It's like what? It's probably 90
minutes. 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see.
It's fun.
Do you guys think that this could, not that it's going to, but do you think it has the potential to continue?
No.
Well, I know I know Killian said that he had an idea for a sequel, and it was going to be more Gunther centric.
That'll be okay, I guess.
I think it was something like Live and Let Gunther or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Channing Tatum's connected.
It's an action reimagining.
Oh, wouldn't it be cool if they got Jean-Claude to come in for it? He'd be like another assassin or something.
Yeah.
I'd be down for that. That's one, like you said, the concept and like the world that this takes place in, I think has potential to have some more like comedy action.
I think I like my assassins more John Wickish.
Yeah. Less SNL and more John
Yeah.
Wick.
I think I'm back.
Any final thoughts? Favorite moments, Kadish?
Pretty much anything with Schwarzenegger on the screen was my favorite moment. I actually really liked when they revealed all of his disguises.
Yeah.
That was a good moment.
They show like, you know, he was actually the gun dealer and he was the cocktail or the bartender and, you know, all this other stuff.
What about you, Jude?
The bartender reveal.
Bartender reveal.
Yeah, but like after they had hooked up. He's in the hotel room and he's like, shh.
It's actually Schwarzenegger in like a tank top.
He's wearing like a spaghetti strap tank top. I loved it.
And he's like, he's a really bad kisser.
That was great.
Gross.
I forgot about that. That was a funny moment. Oh man. What about you, Vader? What's your favorite moment of this movie?
Oh, it's like I said earlier. I like this the beginning and the end.
Okay.
You know,
I think my favorite moment was the raid on Gunther's house. That when they were
That was
at
good.
everything in,
Yeah, that was good.
and night vision, and then it ends up with the fight in the kitchen. I think that was probably my favorite part.
I also liked it when he was talking about like Lisa, the ex-girlfriend, and he was like, she's, what does he call her? Like a rabbit in the sack or something like that. He's like, I'm too old for this.
I'm too old for that shit.
It would have never worked out. She's too wild in bed.
Too old for that.
She's just like deadpan.
He's dead serious too. Yeah. All right,
And
guys.
some of his hairdos.
His hair was great.
His hair was fantastic in this
Yeah.
movie. He had like that undercut, short, like slick
It
back
was
look.
a quaff.
Yeah. like at the end, it was literally
And the
like,
glasses, the little round, like
Yeah.
colored glasses. I
Yes.
loved it.
at the end of the movie, it literally looked like a Hershey kiss on his head. So
So good.
Good stuff. All right, guys, go check out this movie. It's called Killing Gunther. It's on Netflix. It's free. It's not going to hurt you to watch it. It was actually pretty funny. You might get a kick out of it. Watch it with friends, though. I think it might be
Watch it drunk.
drunk. I don't know about drunk. I had to watch like Team America. You got to watch drunk. But this movie, you could probably just watch it with a group of friends. You'll have more fun.
Just have fun.
All right, well, that's it for us today. Thanks for listening. Just a reminder, if you guys want to listen to more of our content, you can go to saltynerdvideo.com. That takes you straight to our YouTube channel. You can like and subscribe, support the podcast, check out all of our other stuff. We have it cut up in short little digestible segments for you by movie, by topic. And that would be super awesome and very helpful. Before we leave, where can we find you on the socials, Matt Vader?
At Matt Vader 74
Right
on pretty much all of them.
And you're doing something on Twitch, right?
Yeah, I got a Twitch channel I'm starting up, and I just need more followers to hit that affiliate level.
Get it. At Matt Vader
It's working.
74.
Got the new machine today.
Oh, yeah.
So
Got some investment.
By this time tomorrow, it should be up and running.
Right on.
Yeah.
And Jude, where can they find you?
At I am Jude Juju on the socials and at Salty Nerd Video on YouTube.
Right on. And Matthew Kadish, author extraordinaire. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Matthew Kadish on all the socials, Twitter, Facebook, Parler, whatever. And kadishbooks.com.
Got anything in the works there, bud?
I got a new book coming out over the 4th of July.
Right on. What's it called?
It's called Sinful, The Devil's Breath. It's a Las Vegas mystery series.
Sounds awesome.
And I worked really hard on it.
Yes,
You got a shout out.
but both of you guys were involved in the book.
Don't say
I
that.
hope.
Yeah.
I was a beta reader.
I spent 30 minutes reading 2 chapters.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.